Howdy. So last night I was having a conversation on Twitter with someone I've known for about 10 years online. And she was telling me how she had closed her Facebook account because she just couldn't deal with the types of things she was seeing anymore and some of the comments that different people were making. And I said to her, well, you can block that stuff or ignore that stuff. There's no reason for any of that to really bother you. And she said she knew that, but she just couldn't get away from it. And by bringing that stuff into her life, it made her a meaner person, or at least she felt she was a meaner person. So because she was writing a whole lot of things on Facebook as well, and then she'd get on Twitter and she'd have these Twitter rants. And she said she just didn't like that, and she felt it was Facebook that was giving her the impetus to do it. So she closed her Facebook account a week ago, and she said that she's been feeling much better. And she doesn't miss the distraction of Facebook and all the bad feelings that she was getting from a lot of other people and some of the pictures that would upset her. And on Twitter, she made her account private, and I'm one of those people who, on Twitter, if you make it private, you can then decide who you let in. So I'm one of the people who gets to read her private tweets, but we still got to have a conversation, and it's pretty much just between us. And she said she felt better, and that's how she dealt with it, and that worked out for her. And one of the things I have found in my life is that for the most part, how I decide to react to stress is really going to determine how I'm going to feel. For instance, if you've watched any of these videos, and this is day 18 in a row, but if you watched Monday, you saw how I mentioned that the hotel had lost my clothes. And there was the second time, because they actually lost them back in January as well. And I could have gotten all upset and riled and fussed and screamed and called people names and outed them on Facebook and Twitter and whatever and said, this is the worst hotel in the world, but I didn't. Instead, I kind of sat back and I took it, all in stride. Last time they didn't find any of my clothes, so what they did is they basically paid me to go out and buy all new clothes. Something that I hate to do, but hey, wait, they just gave me money to buy a whole bunch of new clothes. Well, this time they were able to find them the next day. It turned out that the dry cleaners had never delivered them. They didn't even think about it. They hadn't even brought anything over for anybody else, so I wasn't really alone. I'm just the first one who asked for my stuff. So, you have those ways where you can decide to react to things in a bad way and let it bring you down and let it make you upset. Or you can decide, well, let's roll with the punches a little bit. Let's see where this goes. Most of the time, we can do that. Doesn't mean that sometimes we don't get stress and that we're not going to get mad at something. I'm sure they're trying to think. Last time I got mad at something, I'm not really sure. I think what happens is that something happens, I get mad for a quick minute or two, and then I let it go and I move on. And in general, I think that's the best way to go. I know that there have been time periods in my history of working where I have just been stressed to no end. And I've gone out of my way to try to make sure that I don't put my stress on someone else. And I haven't always succeeded, but in general, I succeed very well. The thing is that when it comes to most work situations, it's really not as important as everyone else makes you think it is. Now, for me, this is my business. So when certain things go wrong, I may have to think about it a little bit more, but the truth of the matter is, I will try to find a new client if I have an issue or if there's something I can't fix. I know enough people in a lot of different industries that I can call for some assistance. So I never really have that feeling as though everything is just going to be so bad and that I'm not going to get by. Sure, there are some tense times here and there, but overall, I think I react pretty well to things. But I know so many people who, even right now, where I'm consulting, who are some people who are just tense. And in their own ways, they take it out on some other people, or they just don't talk at all. And every once in a while, I get to have these conversations with folks, and I say, you get to determine how you react to certain things. And yes, I understand how the pressure can be, but you need to probably take some time on your own, maybe not sit there at work, but take some time. Think about some stuff. Think about ways that maybe you can alleviate some of the stress on you. I put on my other channel some time ago that I was getting into this mode where I was just mad or feeling depressed at work, and I wasn't really sure why. And then I realized it was because I was listening to these documentaries all day long at work about serial killers and gang warfare and war and all this other kind of stuff. All, interesting stuff, but it's all depressing stuff. Yesterday, I listened slash watched Caddyshack in the morning. How can you be upset when you're listening to Caddyshack? You can't. And the thing is that there's these people who are there at the office who are saying you're always smiling, you always seem to be in a good mood. Well, goodness, I got Caddyshack, I've got How to Train Your Dragon, I've got all these comedies on there. I did the Blues Brothers one day last week, and I'm getting close to doing, what's the movie? Oh my goodness, Quentin Tarantino, whatever that movie is with Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta. No, it's not a comedy, outright, but there's a lot of funny stuff in that. It's very weird, and I know someone's going to remember what it is. I'm not going to remember right now because I want to know it so badly. It's just out of my mind, but y'all know what it is. And you've seen it, and you know that it had a lot of funny moments, especially when Samuel L. Jackson is just saying all this great stuff. So that is tomorrow's movie. And it's going to be funny, and it's going to make me smile, and it's going to make me laugh, and I'm going to feel good while I'm doing my work. And you can do that. You can listen to music, you can listen to recorded books, you can basically do a lot of different things at work. In most places. There's some places where maybe certain people frown on that kind of thing, but you try to find things that will ease your mind, or maybe you think about something that you can do at lunchtime, or even after work. Maybe you're thinking about something positive, and positive doesn't mean I'm going to the bar and I'm going to drink myself silly and then sleep and then go back to work tomorrow, because all that does is make you depressed. But I do see some chocolate cake in my near future. Yes, that's a smile. So you know who this is. You can read it. You can see the business. I decided I don't necessarily have to announce my name anymore if you're watching. And if you're not watching, you don't probably care all that much. But you got my name right down here. That's me. That's where you can find me. And I'll put a link in the description later on. So if you decide you just want to come and see more about me and you want to click on it, you can. And like I said, this is 18 days in a row. So go back and look at some of those other videos, or at least look at the topics and see if there's something that interests you. Leave a comment, share with your buddies. Think about subscribing. What can it hurt? Y'all take care. Have a great Wednesday. I will see you again tomorrow as I'm on my quest to have 30 videos this month. See y'all.